isn't it, about the law? Sure it is. And when he said, I change not, the word change is the word shana, S-H-A-N-A-H, shana. And the word shana means to mutate. Like when I was in biology in high school, you take biology and you see a little larvae, and a grasshopper becomes a larvae, and it just gradually turns into something else. And God said, I don't ever do that. I have the same meaning every time you read about anything. So, you see, the beast was in the garden. The mark of the beast was in the garden. The image of the beast was in the garden. All of the world's system was there, and the world was being ruled by the beast, weren't they? Sure they were. What was happening? Well, democracy began there. What's democracy? It's called democratia. It's a Latin word, democratia, and it means a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. That's what it means. Now, democracy is not, you ask any good lawyer, he'll tell you that's not a Christian concept, because it doesn't work. I don't know where these guys get their candidates to vote for, but I don't choose them. Does anybody else here choose them? This is a power structure. Democracy is not really democracy, because we don't really elect those people, because you have to go out here and court people at the country club and you got to go out there and run for office by spending money and going to dinner with the big shots and drinking with them and cussing with them, listening to the jokes with them. That's the way you get up in the world. Now, what happens is people vote, and when they vote, you have in the word diabolos, you have the meaning of the word democracy. Now, when Satan took Jesus upon a high mountain, he was called diabolos. That's one of the words for the word devil. It's the same word it's the same word in Spanish, and it's the same word in the Grecian language and Italian, huh? In Latin. It's all the same. It comes from dia, D-I-A, and B-A-L-L-O, ballo, dia, meaning the channel of throwing down. Now, that word ballo means to throw down. Now, what was the first thing he said to Jesus when he took him up on high mountain? Cast yourself down. What did Eve do in the garden when she committed deicide? She threw God off the throne of her life and said, I'll rule myself, and I'll listen to the fascinating words of the Dracon of the Nakosh, the serpent. And they took a vote, and they had him a government of the people, by the people, and for the people, and the serpent and Adam and Eve got together, and they said, we are a majority, we vote you out, God, we're taking over. And that's called democracy. That's what it's called. Well, people say, are you a communist? No. That's funny. It's funny. There's no way man can rule himself. What's really, really, truly amazing, what's amazing is the word fellowship, and the word communion is the word K-O-I-N-O, koinonia. Koinonia, it's the word fellowship, that I may know him in the power of his resurrection, the fellowship of his suffering. And the word common is the word koine, and the Latin word is the word C-O-M-M-U-N-I-S, communis. And that's where Karl Marx got his concept. He took out of the Bible a concept that everybody should have equally. That don't work either. No, we're not communist or socialist. We don't believe any government's going to work in this world, but a government of God, by God, and for God, and Jesus ruling. That's it. No other government's going to work.
That's what we'll have.
Yep, that's what we're going to have. Has any government in the world ever worked so far? People, you go out here and talk to some real good. I used to call myself a conservative Democrat. I don't do that. I'm a conservative Republican. I don't do that anymore because I moved to Hendersonville. I found out what conservative Republicans were about. They go out here to the country club, and they go join all the civic clubs, and they give to the poor, and they do all this, and they say, I'm okay, and they tell a few dirty jokes. Not much. They don't cuss much, and they don't drink much. And come Monday, and they all go to church on Sunday, and boy, come Monday, they rip and tear. I know dozens of them in this town. And I'm not saying that just to point fingers. I'm simply saying, when we rule ourselves, it doesn't work. And then the two powers. First of all, the first power was diabolos. The second power has the exact same meaning as capitalism. It is the word D-A-I-M-O-N. Daimon, it's the word demon, and the word demon is not in the Scriptures. The word daimon, or daimonion, and it comes from the word demon, D-A-I-M-O-N, daimon, and the root of that is the word D-A-I-O, and it means to distribute fortunes, the very meaning of the word capitalism. If you think we're not an evil system, when you let a man get loose and start making his own living, making his own money, and he's free to just great guns, what is the world? Where does the world want to come to? To America. Why? They can have their way here. You say, don't you like it here? Well, I'm free to preach the word, but boy, I don't like what I see going on. The greed.
Love of money.
Yeah. And capitalism has the very same meaning as that, to distribute fortunes. Because when you start talking, when you read it in Webster's dictionary, the definition for the word capitalism, it says to amass the monies for the individual. A capitalist is an individual who goes out and amasses